guys, welcome to the Purls of Color podcast. This is episode 17 and I'm Sarah. You can find me on Ravelry as Sarloz or Instagram as Sarloz_Purls of Color. For those of you who are returning, thank you for the continued support. For those of you who are watching for the first time, I hope you enjoyed the podcast. You can see previous episodes on my blog with the show notes, or you can view us on YouTube. I hope you enjoy the episodes. We also have a Ravelry group. You can go over to Ravelry. If you go into the groups and just search Purls of Color, it should pop up for you. We have 3 active threads going on right now, or maybe just 2. One is a giveaway for the podcast anniversary. You can go over there and post a little message about something that you like about the podcast or something you'd like to see added to the podcast. I have really enjoyed reading those comments. It's been really helpful to me to read what you guys like about the podcast, because a lot of the things that you guys like about the podcast were things I was afraid was something that would prevent people from watching the podcast. So thank you so much for that feedback. It's been really helpful and very eye-opening. So please go over to the group, join, and enter for a chance to win a Skinny Dunker from No Makers. It is on her Finger and Sock House Gnome base, which is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and it comes with 462 yards. Her Skinny Dunkers are one-of-a-kind colorways. You really can't get a duplicate of it. So this is a nice Halloween type yarn. It's got some darker mauvey purples with some black and some green. It reminds me very much of witches and Halloween night. So I'm going to pair this with a set of 9 snagless stitch markers that will have coordinating bead colors and a progress keeper to go with it. The progress keeper will either be a witch's hat or a black cat. So this giveaway goes until September 5th, and then I will pull a winner via random number generator, and hopefully this will get to you in time if you want to knit any Halloween items with it. Doesn't have to be Halloween items, but it is going to be a Halloween theme. So you have a chance to win that for the Potterversary. We also have a sock along going on. And for the sock along, you can knit any sock pattern you like with any yarn you like to enter. However, if you do use my single mock cable sock pattern, which is free, it does incorporate a fish lips kiss heel. That you do have to buy for $1, that pattern. It's definitely worth it. It helps with, it explains how to measure your feet and how to size your socks and what gauge you should be looking for, things like that. It's a really helpful pattern for $1. You do not have to use it though for my sock pattern. You can switch it up with any heel that you like, and if you're new to socks, it's probably best that you swap it with an afterthought heel or a short row heel, because that won't affect the rest of the pattern much. Because I don't give details on how to add a gusset heel. But if you are comfortable adding any heel, feel free to do that. You can enter, each pair of sock counts as one entry in the FO thread. If you knit my mock cable sock pattern, you can enter it twice, and you don't have to enter them back to back. You can enter it earlier, and then when more people post, you can enter it again. So though that's kind of the general gist of the sock along. You have to have started the pair of socks in August, and I have now pushed back the deadline due to my vacation coming up, as well as I know a lot of other people are on vacation right now, which I didn't think about when I set the deadline. So the deadline has been pushed back instead of to the beginning of September to the end of September. So now you have from August 1st to knit your socks until September 30th. So for those of you who haven't started knitting a pair yet, you have plenty of time to do it. And those of you who already have a pair of socks that you started in August, that can definitely fit into the guidelines. So feel free to join and enter in the FO thread for a chance to win a heel toe set from Never Enough Time Yarns. You can find them on Etsy at neverenoughtime.etsy.com. Their heel toe set is a really good deal. Price wise, you're getting quite a bit of yarn for your money. You're getting a full skein of the main color, which is 100 grams. It is 463 yards. And then you're getting 20 grams of the contrasting color, which is 100 yards. Their yarn is really pretty. It's really soft, it's squishy, it's really nice to work with. I highly recommend them if you haven't tried their yarn yet. I love all their colorways, and the women from Never Enough Time were so kind to donate this to the podcast for a giveaway. So those of you who enter the sock along will get a chance to win their heel toe set. This is their bubblegum colorway. There's all that information on the back for you. It is superwash merino and nylon, and it's fingering weight. It's a really nice, like, aquamarine mix of blues with different pinks mixed in. It's like a raspberry pink that goes to like a more muted, watered down pink. It's really pretty. Also, for those of you who volunteer to test knit some stitch markers for me, I have those all made up, and I'm getting ready to send those out. Hopefully I will get them sent out before I go on vacation next week. If not, I will try to get them out as soon as possible when I get back. But I just need to get some tape and tape the little baggies shut, and then I'm good to send them off. So those should be going out soon. Thank you for those of you who volunteered. I hope you enjoyed knitting with them. I want to go right into my FOs. The first FO I have to show you is Little Baby Hat I finished up. I didn't use a pattern for this. I just cast, I forget how many stitches. I think I cast on like 84 stitches. What I did was I went online to see how big, like I looked for a baby head chart, size chart online to see how many like inches I should make it. And then I just cast on the appropriate number of stitches. I did a twisted ribbon. So I did purls and my knit stitches were twisted knit stitches. Then I just knit a square, like a rectangle, wrapped some yarn around the middle for a bow, and it's a super cute, sweet baby hat. I'm sorry, the lighting's really bad right now. And that that was going to match the baby vertebrae I knit. I've shown this a few times on the blog. I added the sweet little feather and fan design on the back. It's got a nice like ivy collar and cuffs. It's made with Bernat Baby Softy, or Softy Baby Softy, I believe. This is their Little Bo Peep colorway. So yeah, so I've got the matching hat, the sweater, and I also have a no-sew blanket that I made to match as well, which I showed on the last episode. And I also finished another Bonnie Wee Mouse. For those of you who are active in the Old Loops thread, their monthly chatter thread, as well as their Great Haul thread for their Harry Potter knit along coming up, you have seen this mouse. I've been completely inspired and I'm excited for the Old Loops Harry Potter knit along that they do. It's coming up shortly, so I've been really eager to get started on things for that, and this time of year always for some reason puts me in the mood for Harry Potter anyways. So I knit a wee Harry Potter mouse, and he does have glasses I don't have them officially attached to his face because I can't decide if I like him better with or without. And once again, the lighting is not great in this room right now. So he's got his little wand and his little snitch, which has some felted wings, and his Gryffindor sign, his Gryffindor scarf, some little crazy Harry Potter here, because, you know, he needs his crazy hair, and his lightning bolt scarf, which I'm super proud of, guys. My embroidery skills are not the best, and I really did take my time to get this to come out nice. So I think he came out really cute. I will be knitting the rest of the gang. I'll be knitting a Ron, a Hermione, and a Dumbledore. They will probably not be all out. I won't have them knit anytime soon, probably. I'm looking for the right yarn to use. He was made with a bunch of mini skeins from No Makers, and I need to find another brown that's lighter. I only have a little bit of this brown right here for the wand. I wanted to use, ideally this one would be great for, I think, to knit Ron in. However, like I said, I don't have enough for a full mouse. And I'm going to do a gray mouse for a Dumbledore, and for Hermione, I'm not sure yet. I'll have to figure something out. Hopefully I can find different shades of browns to use. So yeah, that's my little mouse. The pattern is the Bonnie Wee Mouse by Susan Cladino. She has some great patterns. If you haven't tried them, I highly recommend them. Other than that, I've been knitting on my sock yarn blanket, which I will show you. I now have 16 squares and a lot of ends to weave in. I'm knitting this on my US 2.5 Carbons Knitter's Pride needles. I do not love my Carbons. I know there's so many people out there who they're die-hard fans of their Carbons, but I'm not. I do like using them. I like that they don't bend so easily. I really love my Xiaogu knitting needles, and I love the Knitter's Pride Nova needles. However, the Novas I do find bend a little easier than my Xiaogu and the Carbons. These don't bend. They're like solid. So if you don't like your knitting needles bending, this is a great needle. I just find them a little more tacky than my other needles, and I find that the tip is not as tapered or as much of a point as my other needles. But I do like them. I do use them. So, but they're not my first choice. So here's my my scrap yarn blanket so far. Each square is 40 stitches, and it takes me about an hour and a half to knit one while watching TV. I use about 2.75, no, I use about 2.5 grams to 3 grams on each one. It's more like 2.5 grams, just on, because it doesn't take me a full 3 grams to knit them. If anybody is looking to trade scraps or to sell some or whatever, just let me know. Contact me on Ravelry, because I'm more than willing to set up a swap or do a trade for scraps. I have about 2 grams left of each of these colorways pretty much, so if anyone's interested, let me know. I have a lot of Knit Mona colorways after doing a 5 gram mini swap, and that's what's mostly in my blanket. This one here and this one here is from Storied Yarns. This is her Tinkerbell and then her Rosetta. I've got No Makers Mr. Frankie. I've got a Gnome Acres Molly Weasley, Gnome Acres Polyjuice Potion, and then way down here in the corner is Oh Loops, Oh Christmas Town, which was part of their Nightmare Before Christmas set that I bought. And then this one is also Gnome Acres Lucky You. Everything else is from Knit Mona. So that's what I've got so far. I'm really enjoying it. I think that's coming out real nice. It's probably going to end up being like a small baby blanket. I can't imagine making like a queen size or a king size bed with these small squares. I just feel like that would take forever to do. And I mean, of course it would be nice. It would be nice to have one. But I think this one's probably going to be a baby blanket. I'll probably make it like a nice size crib blanket, and then keep it for any future kids I might have, or any nieces or nephews I might have, whatever comes first. So I'm really enjoying that. I have joined a few more swapless mini skein swaps, which is where you pay $30 and then in return you get like, I don't know, like if you're doing a 5 gram one, it's usually around 20 grams of, not 20 grams, 20 skeins of different colored mini skeins from one designer. And there is a group on Ravelry for that. They started out on Facebook and now they moved over to Ravelry, which I'm actually really happy they moved over to Ravelry. I find it's a little more easier to keep track of things. So they do a lot of, they do like swapless swaps where you don't have to worry about making skeins, and then they do swaps where people swap what yarn they have. And that's what I've been collecting them through the swapless swaps. I also started the Haida Food, I think that's how you say it, cardigan. I don't, off the top of my head, I don't have the person who designed the pattern, but give me 1 second, I'll check on my phone. There's always something I forget to write down or check before the recording. So it's the Haida Feud cardigan by Hiroko Fukatus. I don't know how to say her name, and I'm so sorry. But that's the pattern picture. So I have gone ahead and frogged my Kamisley cardigan, which I started last year. I think you can see it in my, like, one of my first episodes. It's been in hibernation. I was going to keep it that way until I lost some weight, but I'm just not feeling that cardigan right now. So I decided to use the yarn for the Haida Feud because it was already skeined up and I had plenty of the yarn to knit one. So I'll knit the Kamisley again at another time, but for now I'm using that yarn for the Haida Feud. And this is the Heritage Cascade fingering weight in their citron color. It actually matches my nails really well right now. So I haven't gotten too far. I've just done one of the chart A repeats. And that's basically what it looks like so far. I really do enjoy knitting the lace pattern because it's a really basic one. It's easy to read when you look at it, so if you mess up somewhere, it's not so difficult to find where your mistake is. Also, like I said, I think it's an easier lace pattern. You just have, your yarn overs and your decreases right here. And it's really easy to read the pattern because you've got some purl stitches in the middle. Hopefully I'm not giving too much away for you, but that's chart A so far. And I did knit a swatch in chart A like they suggest. I did the second option, which is you repeat the pattern twice, and then they give you the measurements on how big it should be. And I did get gauge with that, which I was pretty happy about. And I am going to be knitting the size medium. Hopefully that works out. Hopefully I did my measurements right. According to my measurements, it should fit. I'm kind of on the the smaller end of the medium and on the high end of a small in certain areas, which I'm actually surprised about. That usually is not the case for me. Usually I'm between a medium and a large. But when I did read the large, it did sound like it was going to be a bit too big. So I am going to go with the medium, and I have plenty of skeins. I got 4 skeins of this to lengthen the pattern as needed. So I'm super excited to work on this. And Sarah, who's Mrs. Shu on Ravelry and on Instagram, she's from the Osnick podcast. She is also knitting this, and she had posted on Instagram that she wanted to finish by October, which I think is a good deadline for me as well. So we're going to be knitting it together. So Sarah, how are you doing so far? I did this all pretty much yesterday, so I cast on twice. I had to cast on twice actually. The first cast on, I had used a cotton yarn. The only cotton yarn I had was like a worsted weight. And a long time ago I read that if you're going to do a provisional cast on, cotton is a good yarn to use. But it was just too thick and bulky at the bottom. It was just not knitting as smoothly when I first started it. And I knew once I put weight onto it, it wouldn't be bad, but I just couldn't deal with it. So I did undo it. I undid my cast on, and I had like 4 rows knit. I undid that all and started over with this yarn, which is a sport or DK weight. For the provisional cast on, the pattern calls for chain and so many stitches and then picking up through the back bump. And what I did was I just did a provisional cast on with the crochet hook with crocheting over a knitting needle. That way all my bumps are already picked up and I just had to knit into them. So that was my first time doing that cast on. I really actually enjoyed it. I guess not really enjoyed it. No one enjoys casting on so many stitches that way. However, as far as a provisional cast on goes, that's one of my preferred ones right now since I've tried it. So yeah, that's what I got. Hopefully I finish it and don't just stop. But I got some motivation to do it, I guess. So yeah, that's what I've been mostly working on right now. I do have a couple other whips. I started a pair of slippers by Megan Williams. I have one of them done. I'm making those in worsted weight. I might actually bring that on my vacation. I'm going to bring my Hide-A-Feud to knit on in the car as well as my sock yarn blanket. But I also might, now that I'm thinking of it, might bring the slippers because they're fairly quick knit. I think I did one in one night, watching several episodes on TV and then a movie. So it took me a few hours to knit one, and that's probably going to come with me actually. That'll be a quick knit to do, and then I'll have it finished to show you guys. I hope you guys all have a nice rest of your summer. Please stop by the Ravelry group and join so that you can participate in the Potiversary as well as the sock along. For the sock along, I am just going to work on finishing up some socks for my boyfriend that I have on the needles. They've been on there way too long, and I just feel too guilty casting on a pair for myself during this knit along. I was hoping his socks would be done so I could start a pair for myself, but it just didn't happen. And since I can't enter to win FOs, I'm just going to go ahead and finish these socks. But for you guys, start in August, end in September. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to contact me on Ravelry. If you're interested in doing any mini skein swaps or trades or selling anything, let me know. I am more than welcome and happy to take part in that with you. So contact me on Ravelry for that as well. I hope you guys have the rest of a nice evening, and if I don't get a chance to record when I get back from my vacation, I should a few weeks after that, hopefully. So look for a podcast up sometime in September. Probably mid-September. Have a nice one, guys. Bye.